Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful, incredible, amazing teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, please say hello to everybody.
Me?
Sorry, I'm just in such a good mood. I'm in a good mood today. I'm feeling good.
Wow.
I immediately regret it. The otherworldly shrieks.
We lost 20 students listening just now.
Thank you, Professor. That made not only did that make my day, it made my life. That's it. I can I've peaked.
You can die now. You can die.
Yeah, I can die now. A happy man.
Can you die? I've actually had this question for a while. Can you actually die?
I could die
okay.
a happy man if I could die, but I mean, I assume I could die.
If I had my mom's Glock with me, we could find out.
I've never done it before, so I don't know how that would work, but I assume if I could, and if I was to die, then I would die happy man. So.
Okay, excellent. Also here in the classroom today is our trainer in training, Corbin. Corbin, if you could please introduce yourself to the other students.
Well, since you asked so nicely, hello, other students. I will not make a random screeching noise like a buffoon like Mr. Curtis. Curtis, we probably lost half of our listener base, half of our students, just from your screeching.
I don't think he could make a screeching noise, Mr. Curtis, and that's why he's not making one.
That's right, exactly.
I don't think he can do it, and he's very embarrassed about that.
I wasn't screeching anyway. I was exclaiming my excitement.
It was a lot of screeching. I gotta be honest. There was a
little bit of a screech.
Involved.
It was annoying. Please.
If you say so, Professor.
If it happens again, you're out of the class. I'm so
no,
sorry
you can't. You can't. You can't do that.
As the president, as the class president, I can do that.
First of all,
I can do that.
First of all, Mr. Curtis is a teaching assistant. He's not a student, so you aren't president of him anyway. Second of all, even if he was a student, you as the class president, you don't have the power to expel anybody from this class.
Are you sure? Are you sure I don't outrank him?
Big words from someone who can't make screeching noises. That's all I have to say.
All right, settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I'm 100% sure that you don't outrank Mr. Curtis, the teaching assistant, the adult who's been through this class multiple times. How old are you again?
We don't know.
Not you.
Okay.
No, I meant him.
Not you, Corbin.
I'm seated.
You don't know.
We don't know how old he is.
You're 10 years old.
We don't know how old Mr. Curtis is. We don't know. He won't tell us.
Oh.
No.
No. I mean, we could try to cut him open and count the rings, but
let's not. I'd rather not.
Good luck counting all those.
It's hard to get through the carapace.
The what now?
The carapace.
My dusty trench coat.
Sure, his dusty trench coat. Okay. That's what I meant by that. All right. Okay, so in this classroom, as you probably know pretty well by now, we talk about Pokemon, specifically Pokemon biology. Does anybody know who we're going to be talking about this week? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I did tell you last week who we're talking about, but it's fine if you forgot. I mean, a lot of things can happen in a week.
So it's not Crawdon.
Oh, I was thinking of Crawdon too.
It's not.
Hey.
Crawdon.
Is it Joltik? Are we talking about Joltik?
No. It's interesting. You went for a bug Pokemon that wasn't Spinarak. No, we're not talking about Joltik.
Wait. I know who it is.
Well, please enlighten me.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's Rowlet.
Yeah.
No, we're okay. No.
Finally.
Man, when we do talk about Rowlet, I expect applause and
thunderous applause.
Yeah, and fireworks and
light shows,
confetti,
table dancing,
standing
the whole
ovations.
9 yards.
No, we're not talking about Rowlet. We are talking about Krabby, the River Crab Pokemon, in case you weren't aware.
I'm sorry, the what now?
The River Crab Pokemon.
River Crab.
Specifically River Crab. Yeah, okay. So if you see one that's not in a river, it's not a Krabby.
Okay, so is there a lake crab Pokemon? How about an estuary crab Pokemon? A bay crab? An ocean crab Pokemon?
Hey, maybe a creek? Stick around and find out.
A marshy floodplain.
A marshy floodplain crab Pokemon.
It's a good cliffhanger to get you to come back to find out if there are other forms of crab Pokemon instead of just a river crab Pokemon.
I mean, I think that's why most of the students tune in. They want to know how many crab Pokemon are there.
Yeah, well, we'll get down to the bottom of it. There's at least one more that we'll be talking about next week. And from then on, who knows? But for now, we're talking about Krabby. So has anybody here, seen the River Crab Pokemon in action? Or is this the first you're hearing about it?
I think I may have seen one, but it was at an ocean, so it can't be a Krabby, right?
Yeah, so that definitely wasn't a Krabby if it was in an ocean.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm certain I've never seen one of these.
Oh, you're certain you've never seen one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, wow, that kind of certainty. I know I respect that kind of certainty, Mr. Curtis. Believe it or not, I do have a Krabby with me here today.
Good.
In this very Pokeball that I have in my hand, actually.
No kidding. No kidding.
So if you would like to see one, again, maybe try to keep your little fingers to yourself. They do have some pretty powerful claws. They get pretty clippy with. So I would
Okay.
keep the fingers. Maybe keep your hands in your pockets for now.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if they do come at you with the claws, just rip them right out. Just rip the claws right out.
Oh God, no.
Okay, so just do it.
okay.
It's
Mr.
fine. Trust
Curtis.
me, it's
Mr.
fine.
Curtis. Mr. Curtis, you could drown it like you did with that Squirtle if it tries to attack you. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
have
let's not dredge up the past, all right? Which is something that Mr. Curtis has said to the Officer Jenny many times before. But for now,
But that's part of her job. That's reporting. A crime.
listen. I'm not the one who's saying it. It's Mr. Curtis. So I'm not.
Curtis, that's not a good defense. Let's not dredge up the past while being interrogated by the police.
As they're literally dredging up the small pond outside of his house.
Let's not dredge up, ancient history.
Let's not dredge up the dead squirrel. I mean the past. All right. Everybody settle down. Everybody settle down. Okay, there's a Krabby coming out of this Pokeball in 3, 2, 1. Here it is.
You know what? Hey, I have seen one before, and it was at the ocean.
Oh, okay.
It must have gotten lost. I don't know. Or it's a different breed. I don't know.
I mean, the river crab would, say to me that it's a freshwater Pokemon and not a saltwater Pokemon. So I'm not sure if it would be able to handle.
But the Krabby that I saw was at the ocean, though. So I don't know what to tell you. It was in the sand.
Maybe
it was
maybe it was with his trainer,
It could have been.
and the trainer was on a vacation or something.
I didn't see them. Maybe he was left there by a trainer, which is awful. I don't know.
I mean, who knows? Sometimes they go on adventures. All right, so let's talk about this Krabby. What do we notice here? What are some big speaking points on this Krabby?
I will say that I have in fact seen a Krabby.
Oh, okay.
I forgotten this guy because he's somewhat of little consequence.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Hey, you know what? He's like, listen, I'll tell you what he is. He is a wannabe bug type Pokemon. That's what he is.
Okay, expand on that.
Hard shell,
Sure.
multiple legs.
Well, okay.
Um,
I mean, most things have multiple legs, but continue.
Right, but 4 legs.
Like multiple sets of legs, multiple pairs of legs. It's not bipedal.
Right, exactly. It's got 4 legs and 2 grippy claws.
Yes, it does.
So
have that.
six limbs in
Appendages.
total. Right, which is very typical of bug type Pokemon. Will say though, not a bug type, so
It is
not
not.
cool.
Krabby.
No, not worth your time, really. In all,
Well, it's kind of cute. I don't know what you're hating on it for. It's pretty cute,
It does have kind of a cute little face.
I'm not hating on it. I'm not saying it's a bad Pokemon. I'm just saying it's not really worth it. If you want a cool
I mean, you don't like its
Pokemon,
little
but-
underbite there? Look at those little fangs.
I mean, I don't know. It's starting to take offense to you, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't like that, Mr. Curtis.
It's starting to get a little bit clippy.
Excuse
So
me.
maybe chill out.
Yeah, how about you chill out a little
I'm
bit,
just
Mr.
gonna-
Curtis? Be respectful.
Oh. Okay, I think he's starting to run at you. He's running sideways
Oh.
at you. Be careful.
Better run.
All right,
Grab the claw.
take this. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right, this is
Oh.
fine. This is fine. All right. I kind of wanted this to
not,
happen.
Why? What?
That's right. Yes, exactly. Everything I said was to play along with your game, Professor.
You see, this is actually very...
Why did you do that?
This is very common. Kind of like a Slowpoke tail. It is very common for a Krabby's claw to come off.
You just heard it though.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. And you can already see that the claw is starting to grow back.
Oh, look at that.
Just like a Slowpoke tail. So it's actually fine. And this is another...
Hey. Can you put him back in the Pokeball? He's still nipping at my pants, and I don't like this.
Yeah, you could keep ripping them off, but they're gonna keep coming back.
I mean, I don't want to rip off both his claws. I feel like that would be mean.
He's had a rough day. I guess you could say he's a little bit crabby.
Oh, get out of here. Put him back up. Well, I'm done with this class. Put him back up.
All right, okay. I'm putting him back in the Pokeball. Okay. Another excellent teaching moment from Professor Jacob. All right, who is ready to talk about the Pokedex entries?
You know what? I think I am.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Let's move on to, or I guess let's start off in the Kanto.
Move
region.
on to Kanto.
Move on to reading the Pokedex entries and starting off in the Kanto region.
That's right. That's how we do it.
The pincers are not only powerful weapons, they are also used for balance when walking sideways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it does walk sideways and it needs those claws for balance.
So Curtis, it was trying to hold the claws up to balance itself, not attack you. Okay.
Well, it was kind of pinching at him.
No,
I think.
it was coming after me.
Well, then it did because you freaked him out. At first, he was just walking towards you because he wanted to see what was up, and then you freaked him out. Then he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna pinch this guy because he's
That's
rude."
fair. He does kind of have
You know what I mean?
Mr. Curse does kind of have a freaky aura. I can understand something for getting.
I think it's the
freaked out
trench
around
coat. I don't think he liked it.
So yeah, really, it's not the Krabby's fault.
No.
Of course not.
All right, the next entry says its pincers are superb weapons. They sometimes break off during battle, but they grow back fast.
As
that.
we saw earlier.
And we saw that firsthand. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did.
I'm very happy that it was okay.
We saw it first. Claw.
I am seconds away from walking out.
Guys, don't be... You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. We can move on.
No, you're done. You're done.
Oh, he's
What is that?
Sounds like the alarm that my phone makes when I have to wake up in the morning.
Oh, Professor, you know my laugh.
Sounds like another sick Wingle.
All right, this next entry, it's going to confuse us a little bit from statements that we've already made at the beginning of this lesson, but we got to stick with it. Lives on beaches and seashores.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Beaches and seashores. I thought you said this was a river.
I rest my case. It was a wild Krabby.
Krabby is the River Crab Pokemon. However, according to this Pokedex entry, it lives on beaches and seashores. So, always stay on your toes around the Pokedex because they can throw you curveballs any second.
Yeah, I think I get extra credit because I was right.
Well, the rivers can have beaches too. So it could be living on a river beach.
It says seashore as
That's
well,
by the sea, Mr. Curtis.
which is, I would say famously by the sea.
Nah. Okay. All right.
Beaches, sure, yeah. Rivers and large lakes can have beaches, but seashores, it's gotta be the shore of a sea, my man.
It's gotta be.
Okay, the entry goes on to say, if a pincer falls off, a new, stronger pincer grows back in its place.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna get bigger and stronger.
I did the Krabby a favor.
You really did. So Mr. Curtis is the good guy here.
Did you do that Squirtle a favor, huh? I don't
Like
see
I
it's,
am
it's,
always.
it's
We
head
gotta-
growing back.
I'm gonna. Whoa, hey, whoa. There's no known beheading of a Squirtle going on here. All right.
That's right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
They
not
couldn't find the
been
body.
accused and convicted of anything.
No, you can't drown without a head. Isn't that right, Mr. Curtis?
Of course.
Not. How do you know that?
I
How do you
would
know that, Mr. Curtis? How do you know?
I would not know. I just, if
It sounded right.
I mean, yeah, it sounded.
This is your confessional? To the police who listen to this, please arrest him.
No, this only goes out to paying students. So if any students out there are, I guess, police officers,
See,
you know
you
where to
keep
find
saying that. You keep saying that, but it says on Spot a Flygon and it says on Flapple Podcast that this is free for students. So you make it make sense.
Well, they listen. It's free for students who have paid the Saffron City Learning Center dues. So they all know. They know if they paid.
Right, sure. What? No.
What? Yeah, no, it checks out. Let's move on to the Johto region. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Excellent. If it senses danger approaching, it cloaks itself with bubbles from its mouth so it will look bigger.
Oh, that's cute.
Much more intimidating.
Yeah, much more.
Oh, yeah.
At first I was like, oh man, just a little crab, a little Krabby. That's not scary at all. And then it was like, now I'm a bubbly Krabby. And I was like, oh my god!
I'm a bubble boy now. You better watch out.
I'm a bubble boy.
I'm a bubble boy. Hey, you better watch out. I'm a bubble boy now.
I'm a large bubble boy.
I'm a bubble boy, baby.
The next entry says, the pincers break off easily. If it loses a pincer, it somehow becomes incapable of walking sideways. So I guess just kind of I don't know if it switches to walking, just forwards and backwards, or if that means like
He rolls.
or maybe it's just immobile or something.
He jumps.
Jump, sure.
Yeah, maybe it just kind of, like walks forward then instead of sideways.
Maybe it just Ubers wherever it needs to go.
Sure, yeah.
What's Uber, Professor?
It's like the how in Galar they have the oh shoot, what's the name of the flying service that they have?
Isn't it a Corviknight?
The Corviknight?
Yeah, the
taxi
Corviknight
system?
Corviknight system. It's like that, but with cars, which you should know about. You should know about cars.
Yes, I understand.
You've heard of cars before. I know we don't use them a lot in the Kanto since everything's kind of like really close together, but
yeah, I prefer my Rapidash or a leisurely bike ride from time to time.
Everything is within a comfortable biking distance.
Yeah. Weirdly, it's like a very comfortable biking distance. Honestly,
That's so good.
All right.
Great.
The next entry says, if it is unable to find food, it will absorb nutrients by swallowing a mouthful of sand.
Oh,
Okay,
are there nutrients in that?
I guess enough for Krabby.
Okay.
Sucks the nutrients right out of there.
All right, that does it for the Johto region. Moving on to the Hoenn region. Krabby live on beaches, burrowed inside holes dug into the sand. So again, beach could be in the.
I mean,
on
beach
a
could be
river
anywhere,
somewhere.
but it did say seashore, so something to keep in mind.
On sandy beaches with little in the way of food, these Pokemon can be seen squabbling with each other over territory. So food seems to be a big problem for Krabbies. So much so that they need to resort to eating sand. Alright, there is one more entry here from the Hoenn region. It says, it can be found near the sea. The large pincers grow back if they are torn out of their sockets.
Ah, that sounds more graphic the way you
It's a
say
little bit
that.
gruesome, isn't it? It's kind of rough.
Yeah, that was on you, Mr. Curtis.
I wouldn't call it tear it out of their sockets. I mean, it's just kind of a little.
Yeah, you
Like
plucked
little-
it. You plucked it gently from its arm.
That's right, just a little.
Sure.
It's like it was delivering its pincer to you.
No,
And you,
that's
and you
not right.
just
It's on a-
plucked it right out. It was like
No,
pulling a
not-
berry off a tree.
Off a exactly.
Exactly. Easy.
Professor.
No, it was more graphic than
See,
that.
this is why you're the professor.
There was a bit of blood. I saw it.
Well, that was Mr. Curtis's blood, I'm pretty sure.
But Curtis, why are you bleeding?
He sliced me with his claws. He was coming after me.
You can tell because it's like slightly green in color.
Oh, it's blood?
Like
Yeah.
only slightly. It's still mostly red, but there's like a little bit, like there's a few like spots on it that are greener than other ones.
Ew, you should go to a doctor.
Oh no, that's pretty typical for me.
That's pretty typical. And he's doing fine. All right, let's move on to the Sinnoh region. It lives in burrows dug on sandy beaches. Its pincers fully grow back if they are broken in battle. I assume that they will grow back regardless of how they're broken off. It doesn't need to be in a battle. It was like, oh man, you broke it off while you were walking down the road. Well, sorry, no pincers are gonna grow back for you.
You get nothing. Yeah.
You get nothing. Good day, Krabby.
Good day, sir.
Guys, that's it.
Wait.
That's all the
That's it?
regional
That's it for the whole
entries.
class? The
Wait.
whole
Well,
course.
not for the whole class. No, not for the whole class. So, yeah, there's nothing from Unova, nothing from Kalos, nothing from Alola, which is surprising because I don't know, we've been to Alola, so there's lots of sandy beaches and seashores.
Ton of them.
Yes.
Places that seem like it would be a perfect for a Krabby. But I guess not.
I guess they're not really there. Yeah.
And there are entries in Galar, but it's the same thing from the other regions, so we don't need to waste time reading it again. And there's no Hisuian texts that we can read from. However, there are a couple of unique entries, so I can read those really quickly.
Okay.
The first one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Krabby lives near the shore. Its average height is about 16 inches.
Oh.
That's 1 foot 4 inches, in case you were curious, if you didn't want to do that math yourself.
Pretty tiny.
So that's like, I mean, that's not that tiny, right? It's maybe
That's still small.
a little bit more than halfway to your knee, I guess.
A little more than halfway to your knee. No, dude. I'm 10, but I'm still taller than. That's halfway to my knee is not a foot.
It's like 40 centimeters.
Maybe I'm overestimating how big a foot is.
Maybe you
anyways, it's a little bit over a foot. All right, the last unique entry comes to us from Dawn's Pokedex. It says, Krabby, the River Crab Pokémon. Living on sandy beaches in burrows it digs, Krabby can grow back its pincers if they break off in battle. So that was very similar to one that we read from the Sinnoh region, which I think Dawn is from the Sinnoh region. I don't really know too much about him, but
that's a girl. Dawn is a girl. We've established this 10 times.
I think Dawn is a guy. You know what? Let's not assign
Dawn
gender.
is
Let's not assign gender
definitely
to these people that we don't know.
I believe Dawn identifies as a lady. Okay.
Okay. Well, do you know them, Corbin?
My cousin is friends with Dawn. Yes.
No, I don't think your cousin is. I'm pretty sure you say you have a cousin that knows everybody, but that seems like a coping mechanism to me.
No, I just have a lot of cousins, okay?
Okay, sure. All right, guys, that does it for all of the Pokedex entries on Krabby.
All right.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
All right.
Not too terribly much. I think there is some pretty interesting information in there. So you know what? I think I'm gonna give you guys a pop quiz. So go ahead and I know we all love it.
No.
Put away your Pokedexes. Grab your Rotom laptops if you could. Maybe a pen and pencil and some scrap paper in case you need to do math. There might be some math on this one.
Or we decide to write a poem instead,
you know what? No, not for Krabby. Not for Krabby. I like to mix it up with these assignments, but sometimes we gotta go back to the good old fashioned quiz. All right.
Ugh, fine.
I'm gonna get my notes here. Make sure I have it. Is everybody ready? Is everybody? Was all my students ready for a quiz?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Is everybody?
Get it over with.
All my virtual students, are you all ready? Okay. All right. I'll assume you said yes. I can't hear you. I'll assume you said yes. Question number 1. What is something Krabby uses its claws for besides battle? All right. Both of the answers are in. Corbin says to balance itself during walking.
Oh, interesting.
Mr. Curtis says they can also use them to balance as they walk sideways.
Look at that.
Sideways.
Oh, that's wrong.
No, I think actually if you'll do the math there, Corbin, I believe that's correct. Yes, balance was certainly the most obvious answer there. I probably would have also accepted digging in sand. I know it doesn't explicitly say that, and they could probably do it with something else, but I think it's very likely they use their claws to also dig in the sand. But yes, balance was the main.
We can't write what's likely. We have to write what's in the Pokedex entries, remember?
You know what? I'm very tempted to give you extra credit points for that statement, Corbin. That was
come on.
It was a good statement.
It was a very good
statement.
That was a best statement of the year, maybe. I might say.
Maybe it's in the running. It's certainly in the running. All right, question number 2.
Oh, do I get the points or what's the deal?
I'll think about it. If a Krabby senses danger, what does it do, and why does it do it? All right, both of the answers are in. I'm going to start with Corbin's. Corbin here, sweet Corbin, says,
That's me.
coats itself in bubbles to make itself look like a big bubbly boy. Now, you did spell boy with an I instead of a Y.
Oh.
So I'm a little bit. I might take the point away from you for that.
Oh,
You spelled
that's
it
an
wrong,
aesthetic
Corbin.
thing. That's not
But
actually
you
wrong.
did-
That's for
You
aesthetic.
did spell it wrong. No, I'm just.
I
being
did it on
facetious.
purpose.
I'm just being facetious. Mr. Curtis says it covers its whole gosh darn body in bubbles to look
Whoa.
as big as possible.
You better watch that mouth, young man.
I know. He was getting pretty close there with that language.
Getting pretty gosh darn close.
Gosh darn.
I will say this. He spelled every word correctly. So very, very good job.
Ooh,
Very good. I'm seeing a lot of progress in both of you today. Okay.
Thank you.
Question number 3. Krabby generally live on beaches which are scarce in food, apparently. What are 2 consequences of this? Okay. Both of the answers are in. Let's see what Corbin has to say. And you can, students at home, you can check your answers to Corbin and Mr. Curtis's answer as well. See how well you're doing. Make sure you grade yourself fairly and equitably.
Yes.
If you would.
Of course.
All right. So Corbin said, it eats sand or it leaves the beach in search of food. Okay. Let's see what Mr. Curtis says.
Interesting.
Mr. Curtis says, multiple Krabbies. Again, the plural for Krabby is just Krabby. You can just say Krabby. You don't have to add zzz at the end of them. Multiple Krabby have been known to squabble over food. They also will eat sand to absorb any nutrients that they can get out of that stuff, potentially.
Right. Oh, I forgot the fighting part.
The squabbling, yeah. So I'm going to give you half credit for that.
Gosh darn it. How could I forget the squabble? That's okay. That's fair.
I know. Dang nabbit, you were so close too.
Ah,
But you do get half credit for that, so that's better than nothing. That's what I always say.
son of a bidoof.
Okay, all right. Please watch it.
Very, very fair and equitable decision, Professor.
Thank you. All right, question number 4. What is the average height of a Krabby?
Do we have to get it exactly right? Like, that's not a dumb question to ask. But like,
Not, it said it in the Pokédex, Corbin.
all right.
Anything that's in the Pokédex is fair game. Fair and equitable game. Okay, I have both of the answers. The question, of course, was what is the average height of a Krabby? So you're walking around. What's gonna be? What would you expect to see if you were to run into a Krabby? Corbin says a foot, 12 inches. Mr. Curtis says 40.64 centimeters, and then in parentheses, 16 inches. All right. A little bit of a discrepancy here. Does anybody... it doesn't sound good from Corbin. So the exact answer... The exact answer is 16. 16 inches,
Okay.
exactly. Because, I mean, that's what it says in Ash's Pokedex. But, averages can vary. Corbin, you were very close. I'm gonna give you full credit for this one. Because I'm a good guy.
I appreciate that. You did say earlier
And
something
also
about
that comment that you made about
Thank you.
Oh, that's true.
so
We were talking about
yes.
earlier how it was around a foot, and that was just what was in my head. It was a foot. I didn't remember the exact inches, so I apologize.
You got feet on your brain. I know that happens to you a lot.
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
just know because this point on my leg right here is 40 centimeters.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and you see right above that is my slightly oozing leg wound.
Oh, okay. All right.
the-
Now pull that down. Pull that
where
down.
he
I
scratches
don't want to
it.
see
So-
that.
Jeez. We should
That's
get you a
disgusting.
Band-Aid,
That's-
probably. Let me go ahead and wrap this lesson up, and we'll get you a Band-Aid. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's lesson on Krabby. Does anybody know who we're talking about next week?
Crawdon?
This one's definitely Crawdon.
Yeah, dude.
It's not Credent. We're not learning about Credent. next week. It's actually the evolved form of Krabby.
Okay.
I can understand why you'd get it confused with Cruddants, because it's very, they are kind of like similar in shape and color and pincing apparatuses, but it's not.
It's that one with the big old rock on its back. Dwebble?
Is it?
Dwebble? No, we're not learning about. No, Dwebble is a bug type Pokemon, and no, we're not learning about Dwebble. I'll just go ahead and tell you. We're learning about Kingler.
Crustle. Oh, Kingler. Yeah.
Kingler next week. This is the evolved form of Krabby. But until then, if you have any questions for me, the professor, you can send them to my Gengar mail account, which is wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gengar mail, that is perfectly fine. You can also find us on the flying Pokemon-themed social network site, Twitter. We're there at wwopokemon as well. Also, if you really like this lesson, hey, feel free to give us a rating on Flapple Podcast or Spotify. I believe Corbin mentioned that earlier in the lesson.
Please
give us a rating. Let us know how you thought about it, so we can always be improving, making our lessons better for the students at home. And it's the best way to find new students. But that's all I have for you today. So until next time, class is dismissed. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.